I'm on another picking trip and I ended up in Cape Town yet again. It just seems that all the best stuff is hidden away here in Cape Town. And obviously, best location in the world, Table Mountain behind me, and beautiful vintage and Italian bikes. It doesn't get better than that. So if you remember, in a previous episode I met up with Martin down here, who restored a 1959 MV Augusta. Now I twisted his arm, I just had to have that bike. And then I met up with Martin a few times on my visits down here, and Martin even helped me kindly get that motor going for the well bike that had me stumped. Restoration was going really well, but there was just something with that motor that I couldn't get going. Even Martin struggled for 3-4 days, but then eventually he worked out what the trick was and we got it going, and I completed that project and I shared it with you in part 1 and part 2. What an awesome story, what an awesome piece. 1941 British paratrooper bike, something really special. Now, in all the visits to Martin and having cups of coffee with him and chatting, I saw that he had an old Moto Guzzi in his shed, and it really looked bad. It looked past restoration, and Martin stuck to the program. Every time I came and visited, there was something done and this bike evolved in front of me. So when I popped in this morning and I saw the completed project, a 1959 Moto Guzzi Zigolo. It might not be perfect as it left the showroom, but he did a phenomenal job with the canvas he had. So I'm sharing her with you today out in the beautiful South African sunshine with the Table Mountain behind us, and I want to share the Moto Guzzi Zigolo story with you here. Here we have her. Unbelievable to think where she started from and where Martin got her to. This is a 1959 Moto Guzzi Zigolo, and that story of the Moto Guzzi Zigolo started in 1953 and ended in 1966. And what it was all about is producing motorcycles cheaper. And if you look carefully, you can see it's been influenced by the Vespa. And why I say that, it doesn't have a tubular frame like traditional bikes, but production was made using plate frame, which is much cheaper, which is like from the Vespa. If you look carefully, the whole chassis is this frame with pressed steel. Now that was the concept, and it was a motorbike slash scooter. And if you look, it is a very simplistic design, plate frame pressed together with an engine at the bottom. This neat little machine was the first more or less fully enclosed motorcycle designed to actually sell in large numbers. Moto Guzzi shifted just under 130,000 Zigolo scooters over the 13-year production. Introduced in 1953, the Zigolo was designed to be a low-cost step up from the company's original two-stroke 65cc Guzzino. Again, the motor was an Antonio Micucci creation, initially a 98cc and then later 110cc. Having a look at basic specs on this motorcycle, your 1959 Moto Guzzi Zigolo. It's the last year production was with that squish type rear suspension. As you can see, you can tighten up your suspension over here. It's under friction between these plates. From 1960 there was dual coil shock on this motorcycle, but this 1959, you can see it has a single horizontally mounted piston, single cylinder, two-stroke 98cc air-cooled carburation. And as you can see on the right hand side of this motorcycle over here, on the wrong side actually, heel toe, a 3-speed gearbox, wet clutch, your pillion rider foot peck over here. The motor puts out 4 horsepower, yes, 4 horsepower at 5,200 RPM. Bike weighs 148 kilos, so yes, it's really not that quick, but it's all about the nostalgia. Front and rear wheels are 19-inch laced, and drum brakes front and rear. As you can see, even the light, period appropriate, replaced. A new seat cover made in Italy for this bike, and this couldn't be chromed, pitted too bad, so it's been anodized all the way, and you can see a brand new speedo fitted, only 3 kilometers, which I did this morning. And other than that, really stunning bike. I will turn her around now to show you the other side, because kickstart is on the left hand side of the bike. Here you see the left hand side of the motorcycle. You can see the open flywheel covers have been removed, the exhaust with a beautiful dovetail back with the Moto Guzzi name embossed in it, and the Kickstarter on the left hand side. You also see that this rear suspension is the friction one, both sides friction, as of 1960, dual coil shock at the back of this motorcycle. I think this is the perfect time to remind you, please hit that subscribe button and the reminder bell. Reason being is I am leaving next month for Italy, World Ducati Week, as well as some museums in Via Augusta, Benelli, and important, the Moto Guzzi, the home of Moto Guzzi, the factory and the museum. And I hope to be bringing you lots more of these gems from the factory, Lake Como, Mandello dell'Ario, the home of Moto Guzzi. So please hit the subscribe button, the reminder bell, and follow me. I will be uploading all that footage while I'm still in Italy.